Come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. Never have to cut you out like right now. You see, I don't have to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try to marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they finished change. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip.
Welcome to a special edition of Seahawks Man to Man, a YouTube exclusive. You guys can see at Mike Dugar is where you can follow me. That's on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. At name has not changed. While you're here, before we get started with our first edition of Standout Plays for Week 1 of the 2025 season, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, all the good buttons that you can press. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. Seahawks Man to Man is the name of our Instagram, and Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the TikTok. Appreciate you guys so much in advance for doing that. Chris, go ahead and talk to him before we get started.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kidd. You can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206.
All right. Without further ado, welcome back to our first edition of, or can't say welcome back to our first edition. That doesn't make sense. Welcome back to Standout Plays. This is our first edition of the 2025 season. See, I worked that out. That's good. That's all accurate. All right. We're going to go over some stuff. This is your first time watching. Chris and I always watch the tape of the whatever game the Seahawks just played, win or lose, and go over some plays that stood out in a good way or a bad way. It can depend whether they won, whether they lost. We like to do some plays that maybe inform how the Seahawks need to be better or need to continue to do something in the upcoming game. So stuff that could be relevant to Week 2 against the Steelers, so on and so forth. So let's get into some clips and some breakdowns of some stuff. Chris, go ahead and kick us off, please.
Easy money. So I watched the offensive film first. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It was just a bunch of jacks, for being real. It was as Mike McDonald said, it was the jack show. You saw it on film. As much as I wanted to celebrate Jax for doing what he did, y'all know he's really talented and can do those things. So I felt in a loss, I can find a couple of good things and one bad. So what I did was I went to the defense, and one player that stood out to me a lot was Byron Murphy. He didn't get a lot of snaps last season because Jay Reed was in his role and he was still a rookie, and there's a bunch of other reasons why Mike McDonald might not have played him at that time as much as he did. But on Sunday against the Niners, he played about 78% of the snaps. So last year from 50% all the way up to 78% to start Week 1, that's a good start for Byron. And when I watched the tape, he was popping off the screen on a couple of runs, even a couple of pass rush moves where he was getting pressure on Purdy, making him move around the pocket. But this first play that I want to show you guys would be from the second quarter. Ball is on the San Francisco 39, 2nd and 6. So the Niners have a bunch of opportunity to do basically whatever they want. They can run the football. They can pass. The option is available for them to get creative. So with this play, it's really simple. The Niners center, I believe his name is Jake Brendel, he has got to seal off Byron Murphy, because what's going to happen is they're going to send CMC in motion across the screen, and that's just to draw the linebackers. And they want, hey, pay attention to CMC. He's their money guy. But then they end up flipping it to George Kittle. The play is to the right side of to the left of the offense, and it's on Byron's right, if I'm not mistaken. So Murphy is on the left, and when Murphy realizes what's going on, he makes it look so easy, and he wins without any issue. So I'm going to roll it. Watch number 91. He's lined up to the left of the center. So just watch Byron Murphy work here. As you see the motion comes through, and just watch him move the center out of the way and make the tackle for no gain. I think actually they end up getting 1 yard. But if you guys remember, Dane Brugler and the Beast, it talked about some of Byron Murphy's strengths. And you see that right here. I'm going to quote the Beast here from Dane Brugler. Byron Murphy strengths: power-packed, explosive, first-step athlete. Hands are both urgent and purposeful. Well, on this little play, you see how powerful he is. You see the first step, and you see the hands, the violence, the way he's able to move the center out of the way. Because as I mentioned, The center's just supposed to seal him. If their center seals him, and maybe Ernest Jones is able to make the tackle, you get a positive gain here. But Byron Murphy says, nah, not in my house. Move the center out the way. Come here, George Kittle. 1 yard gain for a stop. And when you go back and you watch this over and over, you just see how talented he is. And he did that throughout the game because Murphy ended up with, I want to say, 6 tackles and 3 stops. And for those who don't know, stops are literally you get into the backfield to disrupt the play. Check, he did that. You fill a gap, control a specific area to prevent the runner from advancing. Did that. Or you make the tackle for a few yards, which I think they credited George Kittle for getting a yard, but even then, this would be considered a stop. So you can just see the impact Byron Murphy has on the D line. And if he can do this throughout the season, again, this only helps the Seahawks get to that goal of being the best defense in the NFL. Just watching this was very impressive, and I think he can definitely continue to move up in that regard of just playing with strong physical hands, showing his quickness, and getting to the ball carrier. So it's good that he got more opportunities. As I mentioned earlier, he played 78% of the snaps in the first game, excuse me. So let's just continue seeing him grow in this part of his game, and it should be fun to watch. So again, move the center out of the way. Come here, George Kittle. Gain of 1. So that was very impressive in my eyes watching the film. So we're going to go to our next play here, and I got Ernest Jones. So if you guys remember last season, the Seahawks, they were not as good with stopping the run. Actually, I'm going to be honest. They weren't too good at all until Ernest came into the building. And a lot of it had to do with guys just overplaying their gaps, whether it be the A gap, B gap, C gap, you name it. When Ernest got to Seattle, he changed that. And on this play, he shows exactly how patient he is, and he's able to see where number 3 wants to go, where the running back wants to go, and he's able to hit him, and he stops moving. And that's what you want out of your linebacker. You don't want to see your linebacker make the play and then get pushed back. And when Ernest hits you, number 13, when he hits you, again, you stop moving. And that's what you want to see from your linebacker. Excuse me, and on this play, I didn't mean to do that. He does exactly that. He stops moving. Number 3 doesn't go anywhere. Why do I keep hitting that? My fault. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it. So if you can see Ernest Jones, he is lined up right behind. I want to say that's Byron Murphy, number 91. He's lined up right over him nearest the hash. And as the play develops, you're going to see him swift over to his right and just come in and fill. Your D-line does a good job of allowing you to come through clean, and he just fills it. And he doesn't panic. He's not in a rush. He just gets there and hits him perfectly. Perfect tackle, shoulder to the leg, head up, and brings him down. Look at that. That's what you want to see from your linebackers, and Ernest did that throughout the game. And this is just a little quick inside play. Just trying to get the Niners up the field. Juszczyk goes out, tries to steal the DN, does a pretty good job, but it doesn't matter because Ernest does his part. He doesn't overplay it. He gets to that gap, he fills it, and he hits Brian Robertson, number 3, and he stops his momentum. And that's what you want to see from your linebacking core. Just a really good play, really impressive. Boom, bam, come here. And then the rest of his teammates rally in on the play. So Ernest was another person that showed a lot on the film. He really he popped. When I went back and watched it, I was like, damn, number 13 is just everywhere. I should have thrown in the interception, but I wanted to look at other parts of his game, and this part is just phenomenal. Just gets in there and stuffs Brian Robertson for no gain. And, talks to him a little bit like, hey, bro, don't try it over here, man, because I'm there. And as you can see, he's there. Come here. Just beautiful, great run stuff. And again, by that D-line, it did a really good job of creating the lane for him to get through. And as you guys remember, last season, a couple of times, linebackers just overplaying it and missing it. Nah, not Ernest Jones. So that was really impressive play that caught my eye, and I loved it. And then I got to get to a little bit of the bad, and I'm sure you guys probably can guess where I'm going. Mike probably knows where I'm going with it, and that's going to be Riq. So you guys remember he got beat on that double move, but as Mike talked about on the postgame show, G just stopped running. He was in perfect position to make the play, but for whatever reason, he just Maybe he felt the ball was underthrown and he was. I have no answers for that, but I do know he was in sole position. So I'll go ahead and bring up the play here because it'll showcase that he was in position. And I know everyone's kind of fed up with Riq right now. He has been public enemy number one, but I got you, Riq. I got you, man. You played it well. You just got to finish the play. So from the looks of it, it definitely looks like they're going to be playing some type of zone. As you can see, number 88, he's going in motion, and no one follows. And as you can see also with the Seahawks, they're showing pressure. You got all the linebackers up at the line of scrimmage. So that's Tyrese Knight, who is at the you got 58. That's edge rusher, and then you got Tyrese Knight right next to him, and they're filling in the gaps. They're making it seem like, yeah, we are sending pressure. You got Leonard Williams, I believe that's Ernest Jones, number 13, right there at the hash in the middle of the field, and then Byron Murphy, and I can't tell whose number that is, but I want to say that's Boye Mafe at the edge as well. So as I roll the tape, you'll see, okay, they might be sending pressure. Snap, okay, no pressure coming. They're dropping into a zone. As you can see, all eyes are on what? The quarterback. So definitely playing zone defense. And as it develops, oh, look at that. A staple of the Seahawks defense, at least Legion of Boom, cover 3. As you can see, one of the safeties is dropping down to right near Josh Jobe at the bottom of your screen, number 29. He's dropping down to cover that hook area. And then you got Riq at the top of your screen. And then in the middle, I want to say that's Kobe, but my point is they're playing cover 3 zone. And for cover 3, the only responsibility that Riq has is in this responsibility is the deep third. Nothing beats you over the top. You're protecting that. That's your area. Ricky Pearsall does a really good job of running a double move, but even then, Riq is more than talented enough to keep up with him and make up for his mistake. So I'm going to roll it, and you're going to see that Ricky does a double move. Boom. So right now, Purdy is pump faking, and Riq is biting. Riq is thinking it's going to be an end pattern, whatever the case may be. He sees it. He's getting ready to attack on it. I'll roll it again. Oh, shoot. It's a double move. Now, right now, Riq is in really good position. He is head-to-head with Ricky Pearsall. This is all you would want from your DB on a double move. He's in good position. Continue rolling. The ball is in the air. Look at that. Both players are looking for the ball. That is a great defensive play by Riq. He's able to see the ball. He probably is aware of where Ricky is, but I don't think he understood just how close he was and the fact that he did need to slow down. So as I continue rolling it, he just hesitates. He just hesitates for whatever reason, and that hesitation throws him off, and that allows just a yard or two of separation from Ricky, which ends up being a completion. And there it is. All it takes is that little subtle stop, and that's what created this big explosive. If he continues running, we're talking about, oh my goodness, Riq with an incredible interception on a double move. He fell for it, was able to recover and make a play on the football. Instead, he might have panicked. Maybe he thought he wasn't close enough, or maybe he thought the ball was underthrown. All these things were going through his mind because, yes, he makes the fatal mistake of slowing down in this cover 3. And again, as I mentioned with cover 3, he has the deep third, nothing over his head. And unfortunately, this is the play that went over his head. And I'm sure he watched the tape back and probably said, why the hell did I stop running? And yeah, why did he stop running? Despite Ricky Pearsall putting a hand on his back, I don't think that affected him at all just because he had already stopped running. But when he stopped running and a player B is already running to catch the football, there's not much you can do. He's not that fast. He ain't the Flash. So that wasn't going to be a play he was going to make just because he just stopped running. So tough play for Riq, but I'm confident that he'll be able to bounce back on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers and not make these same mistakes, because I know that he is more than talented enough to go out there and make plays. And just to show an example, here's a game against the Cardinals. Man, I want to say his rookie season. So 2 years ago, he's lined up against Mr. Brown, Marquise Brown, the speedster, and it's a straight go ball. And he's right there. And look at that. Textbook. Turns, looks, doesn't slow down. And what do you get? You get an interception. Unfortunately, Hollywood Brown has a severe injury, breaking his ankle, but showing love to Riq there. That was perfect. So to Mike's point that he brought up on our post game show, G has done it before. He's done this exact same thing. Just do it in the game and stay consistent. And if you can do that, there's another reason why this defense could be one of the best in the league. So those are some of my standout plays from week 1 against the Steelers, or not the Steelers, against the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, poor Riq. You're right. He is public enemy number 1 among Steelers fans, or excuse me, among Seahawks fans. That stinks. All right, Chris is right. The offensive film is the Jackson Smith and Jigba show. Though, as Mike McDonald, Chris, can you throw these clips on the screen here, and let's see. I'll just run them while I'm talking here. But so I'm gonna get into some third down stuff, or some plays that were probably designed for some of the other guys. They, for some reason or another, they just didn't work out to the best that they could have, or just didn't work out at all in some cases. So I think that, as Mike McDonald said, can you put me on here somewhere so I can see myself? I like this hoodie that I got on. There we go. Yeah, I think that Mike McDonald said earlier in the week, and Sam basically kind of confirmed it too, that the plays that happened, they were, I don't want to put this, like, Sam didn't make the wrong read to force it to Jackson. It was very much so like anytime the play was for Jackson, Jackson was open, so he threw it to Jackson. Like, that is very simple stuff. And then I asked Mike McDonald, I was like, well, maybe you just need to call more plays for some other guys. And he's like, well, we were calling plays for other guys. For some reason or another, just didn't work out. So Mike's right. There was some other plays, not a ton, though, to be fair. Like, this was not like, what did Sam have? Like 22 attempts? It says 23, but I think one of those was a spike. It wasn't like there was a bunch of other stuff for other guys. So I will go through some instances in which they were, and where some things need to be different if other guys are going to get involved, because other guys do need to get involved in the true drop back game too. I mentioned play action on our one big thing. That would help as well, but you just can't live in the play action world. Eventually it's going to be 3rd and 3, like what I'm going to show here. It's going to be 3rd and 5. It's going to be 3rd and 7. You can't play action and throw. Like, you just everyone's got to man up, figuratively, not literally. Everyone's got to man up and just beat the guy across from them. Sam's got to make the throw, yada, 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 right? So let's start with, this is the first third down of the game. This is 3rd and 5. I believe on the opening drive, after they did that weird Jalen Milroe thing. Shouldn't do that again. But anyway, well, not the Jalen Milroe show. So there's a motion in here that they show. We'll show that on the end zone view. But you got Jackson at the bottom of the screen isolated. I would probably go there, but I would just run this here and pause it at the top of Sam's drop. Look at the top of Sam's drop. And Jackson keeps running here at the bottom of the screen. AJ Barner, who that there is at the 40-yard line, bench pressing a safety. You can see that, like, okay, cool. This little quick hitter to AJ. I don't think he'll actually get the first down here. It's just pretty short, I think, if he catches it, but whatever. You can see that, all right, this is probably a little quick action, bang, 3rd and 5. Let's get it to our tight end. But the other team has a guy named number 97, Nick Bosa. Wrecks that. AJ ends up catching it anyway, but doesn't go anywhere, right? All right, so here's the other view of that play that I was talking about. Motion jacks, this is great. All right, communicate, yada, yada. All right, so I want you guys to watch number 97 here. He is to the right, he's on the right hash. Looks like, as Chris showed in the other examples on defense, looks like the Niners maybe bringing some guys. Doesn't matter. The issue really here is number 97. And it's really good, actually, by the Niners D-line. You just look at Nick here, number 97. Woo! I don't know enough about O-line play to say, like, this is Gray's fault, Jalen Sundell's fault, that Nick that quickly is already at the quarterback. My guess here, if I had to, pretend to be an O-line analyst, is that the issue, like, they could have passed this off, like pass it all the way off to Jalen, but number 94 there gets upfield so damn fast that Jalen can't just let that go to go pick up Nick, because otherwise 94 then goes and gets Sam, right? And he's getting yelled at by his O-line coach. So it just ends up being just good D-line play. And then Sam tries to get rid of it. Ball bounces off Abe. And then thankfully AJ catches that. But I want to show that play. I'll run it again. I want to show that play because it's like, this is a good example of, like, Chris, everyone wanted to be like, why don't we use our tight ends? Well, this is an example of trying to use them. Look at this. AJ just bench presses this guy, gets open, boom. Separation is there. Like, that's a window. Sam's rearing back to throw. Like, this is all good. This is good stuff, actually. You just got to block. You just got to block the other team's best guy, so he doesn't wreck your play. So, and again, you can see where the sticks are. I'm not really sure he would have got the first, but maybe they go for it, get the AJ Barner push on that. But I did like I just wanted to show they were trying some stuff to some other guys, and in some cases it was good. It just didn't block it up. So now Sam is back there getting cooked. Also, I'm not really sure he was deep enough to even get the first, but maybe if it's 4th and 2, 4th and 1, near the 30 or something, they go for it. All right. This is 3rd and 3-ish. Doesn't matter when it was in the game. It ends up being the Cooper Kupp drop. The top of the screen, you got Coop and Jax. This is the type of things that John Snyder was talking about in the offseason when I asked him. It's like, yo, how Kupp and Jack's going to work together, right? They're both slot receivers. I was like, well, you stack them up, condense the splits. It's hard to just cover both of them, right? Here's an example of that. Like, yeah, you can press up Jack's where he is, top of the screen. Can't do that to Kupp, right? That'd be stupid. He got two-way go. So it works out to his favor. It is perfect. And then my man just drops the ball. That's tough. That's tough on that. Also, see what the pass protection does, though. But you also can see this is probably for Kupp too. Like perfect pass protection. The lane's there. Kupp wins. Got the leverage on the DB. Like this is another example of like Mike McDonald saying we did call stuff for other guys. He right. Boom. Perfect instance. All Kupp got to do is make a play. He makes 9 times out of 10. Yeah, catch the ball. I don't know why Fred Warner celebrated. Maybe he thought he hit it. Doesn't matter. Not a Niners show. You got the motion there. You see that Upton Stout, who I think is a rookie, is on Kupp. If not a rookie, a second-year guy. There you go. You got exactly what you want. You got Kupp on a young buck. You got the leverage you want. You get the pass pro that you want. Like this is it. This is a good design. There's more stuff you got to just. Everybody has to execute. It can't be 10 guys do the right thing and then one guy drops the ball. Like on that last one, most guys were doing the right thing. You don't block Nick Bosa correctly, the play doesn't work. And then Kupp, my boy. Look at this, y'all. This is not very Cooper Kuppy. He's usually got good hands. This had nothing to do with the Kupp part of this, but I want you guys to watch everyone's favorite Seahawks offensive lineman, right guard Anthony Bradford. Watch my man just watch Anthony Bradford right here. I like this when I went back and saw it on film. Boom. I like that play. I like that. But beyond the blocking, like this stood out to me because it's like these are the plays you got to hit. Because whether it's the Jax show, quote unquote, where he takes up 13 targets or whatever, there won't be that many non-Jackson targets to go around on a weekly basis. I don't think so, at least not in the pure drop back game. You're going to have to scheme these other guys open, and it'll probably be few and far between because they don't all get open that quick, right? In the rare instances they do, you got to hit them. They got to catch it, right? So another one, this is all going to be very important against the Steelers, by the way, because the Steelers, I think, are going to man these guys up and expect to win these routes, right? All right, here we go. This is 3rd and 7. This is before they don't go for it on 4th and 1. I thought this is actually a really good play by number 0, the corner at the bottom of the screen, Renardo Green. I'm pretty sure Chris just showed a cover 3 example. Pretty sure that's like what this is here. And he just drives on this out route really well. Just completely ignores Torrey Horton, vision on the quarterback. Good stuff. But where I think the Seahawks probably could have helped themselves out is knowing the situation. All right, it's 3rd and 7. We're trying to score, but we're also trying to bleed clock because the game is tied 10-10 right here. If you're Cooper Kupp, yes, this is great. You catch the ball in rhythm on time. You need to go get this first down, my guy. Like you need to stick your foot in the ground and go get the first down. Like good throw on time by Sam. He had a free blitzer coming in his face, so he has to get rid of it very quickly. He does. Throws a good ball to Kupp to the far side of the field. Like all this stuff is good. Look where he catches this. Go get the first down. Stick your foot in the ground. Now maybe you don't get it. Maybe do just he says weight room, whatever. But just go stick your foot in the ground and go. Instead, you're short. Again, this is also a good play by 0. This is just the end zone view of it. But you got to go get that, man. I'm going to reel this back. So this is the end zone view. This is an example of kind of what you see from this scheme. You see there, it looks like they're going to show send some pressure here. What Kubiak and guys like Shanahan like to do in this scheme is, all right, so what? They may send an extra guy. Get the ball out. I've built in something, me being the OC. I've built in something in the concept where it says somebody's going to be open. Get rid of it. And in this case, looks like they blitz a DB. Yeah, that's one of their safeties, I believe. Sam knows exactly where to go. You see, they dropped a fat boy into the middle, right where Jax is going to be. So that's taken away. All right, cool. We got a couple on the out route. Sam's willing to stand in there and throw. Trust his guys. Boom. Right here. Stick your foot in the ground and go. Go get that first down. And I like that. I think Cup mentioned this post game too. Like he didn't do a good enough job getting the first down. I think that's what he said after the game. I believe this is the one he was referring to, not the drop. In real time, I thought he was talking about the drop. But he's probably talking about this. Because yeah, go get that. Don't leave it up to the coach to go for it on 4th and 1 or not. Obviously, Mike ended up kicking it, but it could have been a situation you avoid altogether. And this was Cup's only catch of the game, second catch of the game. He didn't get the ball very much, but this is one of those that he did catch it. But it's kind of like, all right, whatever. We still only got 3. It was no better than an incompletion, damn near, because you probably would have just kicked anyway. If it was 3rd and 7. So 4th and 7, 4th and 1 doesn't matter. You kicked. So stick your foot in the ground and go. But I do think this is the back end of this. I'm gonna play it again. This is a nice setup. Okay. We know they're coming. Where are we going to go with the ball? Someone that's not Jackson, go make a play. They do make a play. But again, this is because in theory, what you want here is Torrey Horton to clear out 0 so Cup can just catch this easily, turn up field, and kind of do whatever. And instead, again, he makes it's a great play, man. The Niners had some, and Chris can attest to this after watching the film. The Niners made some really good plays in this game up front. Their DBs, Fred Warner and D Winters, their linebackers just played out of their mind. It was just overall, I'll just run all these now. We finished this. Or actually, Chris, can you put us back in the other view? You can take this, the big joint off the screen. But yeah, I mean, the Niners made some good plays, but those 3rd downs stood out. The ones that weren't to Jax. I think literally every other 3rd down pass went to Jackson. 2 of them were screens to Ken, I believe. So I took those out. So these were the other plays that weren't to Jackson on 3rd down. And that's going to be the money down for the Seahawks. I don't care if they can run it well or if they don't. Every team, even if you run the ball well, faces 3rd and whatever. You're going to have to live in that world in the NFL. And sometimes they're going to scheme away Jax. They're going to double cover him, whatever. Other guys got to get open, but beyond getting open, got to block it up right. Sam's got to make the right throw. Guys got to win. There's so much that goes into it. And that's part of why they fell short against the Niners. It wasn't just because they couldn't run the ball. They could have ran for 200 yards. You still would face 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3, and 3rd and 7 at some point in the game, right? You would. You just got to go make it happen. So it's not just going to be the Jackson show. AJ Barnes is going to get one-on-ones against safeties. The Steelers have a bunch of DBs out. I believe Joey Porter Jr. is out. I think they're missing another DB. So there's going to be young bucks probably, or inexperienced guys who are just not starters that are going to be on Cup. They're going to be on Barner. That are going to be on Torrey Horton. I didn't see any plays for Torrey. Poor guy. Just got 16 routes of cardio. Poor young buck. Just had his Apple Watch on and just completed the ring. That's it. That's it. That's all Torrey. He deserved it. I couldn't find. Did you find any, Chris? I feel like there was no plays for Torrey in the game. Not a one.
Yeah, nothing was for him. To your point, though, it was the Jack show, and it leads back to what you saw from training camp and when you went on to go watch the Seahawks play the Packers. Obviously you'd want other guys to get open, but if Sam knows, I don't know if he can get open. Oh, I know 11's open. That just tells you everything you need to know. And so far through week 1, number 11. So you're hoping that against the Steelers that changes and we can come back for standout plays and talk about AJ Barner or Torrey Horton. Hell, not Carlos Arroyo. Oh my gosh.
Elijah Arroyo.
I wish he did not have the same name as a former NBA player. Sorry, I know this is not an NBA podcast. That's on me.
It's just a random NBA player for you to whose name for you to have memorized there. But anyway,
because he played with LeBron in the Heat, and I was a big LeBron. I'm a big LeBron guy. So wherever LeBron go, I go. Carlos Arroyo played with LeBron for 2 seasons.
All right, fair enough. I guess I should say, I'm glad you brought up the Packers game. We're recording this, the Packers joint practice. We're recording this after they've already won their first 2 games, Green Bay, that is. Apparently, maybe the Packers have the next Legion of Boom.
Yeah,
maybe they do.
DBs look solid. I'm not gonna lie.
No, damn solid. Keon Nixon looks like an all-pro corner now, number 25 for the Packers. He had like 10 PBUs in the game Thursday night. I was like, what the hell? And even number 24, Valentine, was nails in that game too. As a Terry McLaurin fantasy owner, I was very upset to see that. So maybe that wasn't as bad. The joint practice wasn't as bad a sign as I thought, because I went in there thinking, these Packers DBs are just okay. Maybe they're 2000 Ravens now. I don't know. I'm not aware, but they are better than I thought. That's for sure. Keon Nixon looks like the real deal here. Micah Parsons is going to get all those guys paid. But either way, they're not playing the Packers on Sunday, playing the Steelers. They're going to get manned up. Everybody needs to get open. Got to block it up right. Just as the Niners had a Nick Bosa, the Steelers have Watt. Like the same things are going to come to fruition. They're going to have Jalen Ramsey maybe man up Jackson. Maybe you can't go there. Where's Kupp? Where's Horton? Where's Bobo? Where's Tariq? They're all healthy for this game too. So I think that's going to be really, really, really important. Is can the other guys win on those got to have it downs? If so, I think they have no problem scoring like 20, 25, 30 points. But if not, then you're looking at another 13, 16 point game if guys can't get open.
Well, there you have
and
it.
It's not blocked up right. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good. There you have it. Standout plays, week 1. Think about it, guys. You got 16 more of these things. So appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you follow Seahawks Man to Man on Instagram, TikTok, and you can follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky. If you're watching us on YouTube, you see it right below our faces. If you're listening, I'm kidding. It's only
no audio on this one. No audio. It'd be a waste of time.
Gotcha. Appreciate everyone that tapped in. We'll talk to you guys after the Seahawks Steelers game on Sunday, and that'll be out Monday. So enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys later.